Damn it. Oh, how quickly the episodes have flown by. Somehow we're on episode 22 already.
So,
This season has been unreal. Let's take a look to see if we can hear everyone on YouTube as well. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Yeah, you can hear everyone, right?
Jeez, man.
Legit.
This thing is zoomed in. Was it just me on the stream?
What zoomed in?
yeah, I did zoom you in a bit. I mean,
Let's take a
Zoom
look.
out a bit if you can.
okay.
I'm actually far away from my screen and I still can't really see.
We can see if I can do that. Hold on.
Yeah, Starks is the super zoomed in now.
Cool.
And the audio's good. We could hear everyone.
Sweet.
I don't know if we could hear Benji though. I think you
Why?
gotta talk Benji.
Yo, try
Talk
to
on the
try
phone.
to. Can you hear me on the thing, or is it all
Starks
good?
is the super zoomed in.
All right.
There's a minute lag, so we'll have to see.
All right.
The audio's good. We could hear everyone. I don't know if we could hear Benji though. I think you gotta talk. Yes. Okay, we're good. We can hear you.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Is that okay? Stop for you then.
All right.
Perfect, because now I can see the best badge in the world of football.
My God.
See that?
My God.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes,
Go.
sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FPL Roundtable podcast. This is episode 22, and I'm your host, Kanji FPL. I'm joined by my co-hosts, FPL Kayman and FPL Stark. On today's episode, we have a very special guest, one of our friends that I met him last year, but we've grown so close over the past 2 years, and that is Benji FPL from Thinking Cap. How are you, Benji?
I'm great. I'm really excited. Thank you guys for having me on. I think it's gonna be an excellent episode. I really love the pod. I love the ideas, and I think you really have a unique blend of three managers, different play styles, different opinions. I think it works really well. So I'm excited today. Let's do it.
100%, bro. So it's nice to have somebody that's a little like analytically minded coming into the pod, and your YouTube channel as well as like your Twitter has grown a lot. So I'm hoping that like we'll be able to help each other grow over the next few years,
100%.
inshallah.
Inshallah. I just want to say welcome Benji, aka Thinking Cap, aka the man who once lost the cap but finally found his cap. That's one of my close friends. We do chill a lot on X, and we do want to, continue to collaborate and help each other out. We're quite a small channels in YouTube scene, so we're coming up, but we're the future. So do tune in. Benji knows what he's talking about, so we're excited to have you, Benji. Welcome.
Thank you guys.
100%. If you guys have any questions in the chat, just drop in the chat. We'll definitely get to it towards the end of the episode because we'll have like a Q&A section. And shout out to everybody that submits their PFC because if you don't know what PFC is, it is going to be the punt, flop, and captaincy that we're going to be predicting for the next game week. So if you have something in mind of the players that you're considering, drop it in the chat and we'll keep track of it. Going into next season, we're going to create a whole table for everyone that submits their PFC. So it's going to be really exciting. How was Game Week 32 for you guys? Was it a good double or a painful one?
For me,
Um,
go on.
you go,
Sorry.
Kayman. You
Go,
go.
go, go. Now you go first. You're the guest. You have to go first.
Okay. It was okay. It was a small green for myself, so I'm satisfied. But it just showed, I think, that big swings are coming. And it's going to be the biggest double that we've had. 4 teams doubling. So yeah, it's going to be huge swings this week.
Cook, bro, cook.
How was your Game Week 32, Kayman? Was it good for you guys?
Mine was alright. Mine started off amazing because I don't own Mateta and I own Shapeshifter R9 who scored 2 penalties. So I was gassed, but then just fell to pieces, man. Like Jacob Murphy off the top rope just killed me.
Bro, this guy's unreal. How many points does he have in the last 2 weeks? Feels like he has like 35, 36 points. It's crazy.
I think he's got like 5 returns and 3. It's like Salah output, man. I was watching that Newcastle
Unreal.
game and I wasn't fearing Isak, I'll tell you that. I was fearing Murphy. Crazy, he was everywhere.
Bro, there was also like East triple captainers in play, and I'm sure, going into the first game, they got 5 points. They were feeling like, this is okay. And in the first half, I think Newcastle scored like 3 or 4 goals, and Isak only had an assist in the second match. So I'm sure they were fuming, but he ended up
Yeah.
scoring the goal. He finally got his return. Do you think 12 points is fair, or did you expect more or less?
11 points. Look, if you look at the most triple captain players in the game weeks this season, it's Salah 29 in 24, Salah 20 points 25, and Haaland 17, which I think Kayman and Stark got very successfully. So they're 6 points down on what most people have got, but I still think double-digit return is very solid from TC.
I think
100%, bro.
I think the chips that were used this week, for example, bench boost, I thought that was below average. I think that was a disaster for majority. I thought the TC that was used, it was average as well. I mean, Salah single-handedly in most weeks has got more points than what Isak has got. So I'd personally consider that as a bit of a disappointment. So in terms of overall chip usage, I thought it was quite a bit of a disaster, no matter how you look at it, whether
You'd
it's
have to
TC
be
or bench boost.
disappointed.
Sorry?
You'd have to be I said you would have to be. If I triple captain Isak,
Yeah,
I'd be fuming. They scored 9 goals and he's their talisman. He got
exactly.
only 2 GA.
Yeah. I think they got checked differently, bro, and I'm happy. By the way, guys,
Yeah, we dodged a bullet, to be honest.
facts, bro. And I was rooting against you guys. I'm sorry. Like I already used my in a single game week, thinking that there won't be enough double game weeks. Stuck, remember, to start the season, there won't be enough double game weeks, and I felt like they're right because we had like what? We already had 3 double game weeks. Now we're about to have another one. We're about to have 4 or 5 double game weeks. We're running out of chips. So I do feel like I'm gonna probably save my chips next year, where not probably use them in a single game week, because in a double they're much more effective, as we saw with Salah back-to-back double game weeks where he smashed it. I mean, if either you triple captain him in 24 or 25, didn't matter, he smashed it, right? And one thing we obviously
Yeah.
didn't consider is the fact that when you're triple captaining, I do think that the midfielders do have an edge over the strikers. For example, the strikers, when they do get a goal, they get 1 less points, as well as the fact that they don't get appearance points, extra appearance points for clean sheet as well. And the bonus point tend to obviously do lean towards obviously the midfielders as well, because they're doing the creative role, winning tackles and whatnot. So I think this week, again, we're in the same position. I think we're going to be, which we're going to discuss about captaincy. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, it will be a really interesting talk. We're going to discuss the best captaincy, as well as whether you should triple captain Marmoush, Saka, and whatnot. In regards to your
100%.
original question, Kanji, about how my game week went, I walked out in game week 30 and I had 2 back-to-back red arrows. Finally, I had a small green arrow this week, so I'm quite pleased, although the bench boost was a disaster. But still, I'm happy.
Yeah, so how do you feel about bench boost itself? Like, this is like an open-ended question to all 3 of you, because I think all 3 of you had bench boost active last week. Overall, for the community, it felt like the average was like maybe 10 points if you were lucky. Like, some people had 15, but most people pretty much had 10 or less. It feels like the type of chip that prohibits you because you have to maintain 15 good players. Like, from a macro perspective, would you consider just like maybe using it in game week 1 next season, or do you think it's still worth like holding on and waiting for a double game week later in the season? Just curious to hear your thoughts.
What do you think,
Mm.
Stark?
Yeah, go on, start.
I'm tempted to use it in game week 1, to be fair. Because I think you can you have a free wild card debate, don't you, to just build what you want. If you're smart with who you pick, and you can really target the fixtures. And I'm someone who wild cards early anyways, so I like it. I'm tempted to just try it out and see how well I can do, to be honest. No, I'm gonna lock it in. I'm gonna do it.
I think I'm gonna do it as well.
Yeah.
Probably. I think we underestimate the. I think we overestimate the power of a bench boost. I've been playing FPL for the last 4 years now. This is my 4th season. I don't think I've ever scored more than 20 points on a bench boost. I remember I had Zabani. We got a bullet header last year. When I had him a bench boost, but that was about it. Only return I can remember. Like I don't remember too many other returns. I remember I used to have maybe Luton players and whatnot. They don't really. What are you expecting on the bench boost from Luton defenders, right? It's shocking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
even if they double, you're probably going to have Luton or Ipswich defenders. And I'm sorry, and a single game with a good defender could outscore a double for Ipswich, for example, right? So I do
Yeah.
think it's a really nice strategy and it's overlooked. And even TC to some extent you can get away with using in a single game week. Obviously Salah did punish us ultimately, but I do feel like to get 17 points from Haaland is still a really good score.
It's
right?
great. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think I would still leave my bench boost just for later, just because I think guaranteeing or giving yourself a higher chance for a green in one of the later weeks of the season, getting extra fixtures, and also just for personal enjoyment. Um, that's why I would still leave my bench boost till later next season, just because I like the challenge of obviously managing 15 and getting that out of the way. But I still think, look, if a big, huge double comes, let's say there is another monarchy death or something, you could be looking at like a 26, 27 fixture team, which is absolutely insane. You're not going to get that in many seasons. So, yeah, that's why I would probably keep it.
Yeah,
I
makes
can't
sense.
recall
I
though,
think for
Benji.
triple cap,
I can't recall in any scenario where we've actually had such where we had 15 doublers and there was such a hell glory. I don't remember. Can anyone recall? I mean, who's probably played the
Um, I, th-
longest?
I think last season, I think it was 36 double. There was a big, huge double. I think me and Kanji bench boosted in that one.
How much points did you get
Yeah.
yeah,
on that?
I think there was 8 teams or something. Eight or
Yeah,
six,
yeah, I
six,
remember. I
six or
remember
eight
that.
teams.
I had
It's huge.
Zabani as on the bench boost. I had Zabani. Yeah, I had Bournemouth
Yeah.
defenders
yeah,
on that. So because they were cheap.
yeah.
So how much points do you remember from that? Because I remember exactly how much points I
I
got.
got I got 20 points. I remember I got 20
Exactly
points.
20. There we go.
I
Yeah.
got more this year. I got more this
There you
season.
see.
From just singlers, but
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think all along was the optimal bench boost. I think the optimal bench boost all along, which now that it's taken me too long to basically realize how shit this chip is, and I wish I realized sooner. I feel like the best bench boost was actually just double game week players and then 3 Liverpool on your bench for this game week.
Mm, yeah.
Imagine having like Bradley, Kanate, Salah on your bench, or like got all the
Diaz or
starting 11
Gakpo.
Yeah, but then you free hit in 34, then you have to worry about the blank in 37. That's the reason why we won the other way. Because that's what I was thinking as well. I had that thinking already, but because of our strategy, it didn't align with us. We could have had 12 doublers, right? And we could have done what you just said, have 3 Liverpool. But then how do you navigate 34? You free hit in 34, and then 36, 37, what do you do? That was the issue.
Mm. No, I
Yeah.
understand.
It's still a really nice discussion just to just like touch on maybe bench boosting earlier, but I'm assuming for Benji, it's like, what about triple captaincy? Like, how do you feel about, triple captaining in a single, or would you still hold back and wait for a double game week?
Look, no. If there's a double, I'm triple captaining a double game weeker. I mean, you always go for that ceiling, but ultimately, I think if you have to go in a single, I mean, if you ask me right now, if I could go back and do what Stock and Kayman did and get that plus 17, I would do it straight away. But it's at this point of the season, I'm hoping that double does come. If not, then I'll have to assess my single game week options. But it's a flexible trip. You can put it wherever you need, really.
And just to mention, as things stand, Spurs are currently 1-0 up in Europa League, so the chance of a double game week in 36 is looking likely. But regardless, let's move on to the double game week that is right in front of us, and we've got double game week 33, and there are a lot of assets to really discuss. Let's start off with the main two, Kayman, Benji, Stark. You guys, I'm sure, will all be interested in, KDB versus Saka. Both of these assets are looking to have a double game week. Now, there is news that Foden has returned to training that could potentially take a start away from KDB, maybe even just take some minutes away. I don't even think he's ready to start, honestly. He's been such an
Mm.
up and down season. And then there's Bukayo Saka, who just finished up a game in the Champions League, and then he has 3 days off until the next match in the Prem, and then I think 4 days off until the game after that in the Prem, and then 7 days off. Kayman, do we have the graphic from Lego Mane?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. There we go.
So in case you guys wanted to refer this when we go through it, but KDB versus Saka, like, what are your guys' initial thoughts on those two?
Um, Look, KDB, we all know it's his last season. And Saka, I mean, I still think for the games he's been fit, he's been absolutely amazing for Arsenal, and he looked really good against Madrid. I watched the highlights yesterday, so even with the missed pen, I thought open play was great. And you got it on one thing. I'm a little uncertain. I think all of us are on what his minutes will be, But yeah, like you said, he's coming into the Ipswich game 4 days rest, and it's a 3 day turnaround heading into the Palace game at home. But ultimately, he came into Madrid with an 8 day rest. He got 70 minutes. So I don't think it's entirely out of the question he gets 2 starts in the double. I really don't. And for me, I think Saka, I would probably prioritize him in at least on my free hit. Obviously, if you're looking long term, I think De Bruyne's the play just with the fixtures available.
Right, because like Man City, when we discuss them, it's like they also have the Wolves game and the Southampton game. If you're free hitting in game like 34, they could potentially also be doubling in 36 as well. So KDB is definitely tempting. Kayman, Stark, are you guys interested in that sort of decision or no?
Just to
Let
go back on
Kayman
that
go.
slide, yeah, I'm very interested to talk about that. Actually, it's really interesting for me. I was actually really high on KDB. In terms of, I was even considering to outside shot to captain him. But now that I'm seeing Foden in training, I do see Foden getting that Villa game. He did perform quite well versus Villa in the reverse fixture. So I'm kind of less hot on KDB now than what I originally was. I, cause I'm right now I'm 50-50 between the two. Originally, I was around, I said 70 to 80% leaning towards KDB over Saka. But right now, I'm really in the bit of in a pickle right now, and I would probably want to hear what you guys think. I know what Ben just said, that he does think that KDB starts both game, but considering the fact that he did have a long term injury and he's just building up fitness now and starting to get these minutes, does he get rotated when there's a 3 day turnaround between the Everton and the Villa game?
What do you think, Stark?
This is with so like this is the discussion with regards to transferring them in, right? As opposed to playing them in a free hit.
Yeah, transferring them
Of
in.
course.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like with regards to KDB, there's the information on X which said that he was actually playing with a hernia, hence why his minutes were stagnated and he was carefully managed, a bit like Enzo Fernandez last season. And for the past 6 weeks, he came out and said that he's finally been able to train and play without that pain, and he's finally over it. So we could potentially see an uptake in terms of his minutes due to this being his last season. And even in the last game, I think he had like 6 shots, goal and assist, and like 3 of them inside the box. He's just got that ability in the double game week to just go huge because just in terms of his play style. And I think Foden is just recovering from an injury. Yeah, it was a small niggle in the Manchester derby. But aside from the injury, Foden's been shit.
Yeah.
So, and then Saka, like the Champions League, him coming back from injury, it's just a massive headache. I honestly don't have a clue what I would do. I'm in the situation. I have to pick, and I just don't know what to pick. If I'm being honest. I like Marino.
Stock, there is some background zip noise. I don't know if you can put some AirPods or headphones on. Maybe that would help. But yeah, just want to give you a heads
Yeah,
up.
all good.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I do
I
think
think like
your
the
thoughts were gone. Sorry, gone, Kenji.
oh, go on, Kayman, you got it, bro.
Yeah, I thought your thoughts were really. I think you obviously you're right in saying that obviously he's feeling much better, and if he is fit, we expect him to start considering his last season. But there is also an FA Cup right game which they would probably
Yeah.
want to somewhat rotate for, and Pep, you know how he loves to rotate. So yeah, it's just they're both a doubt, both KDB and Saka doubt. I just want to throw a question out there, right, Kanji, for everyone. Do you Is Palmer a kip in this scenario if both KDB and Saka gets one start in the double? Considering I'm not free hitting in 34.
Yeah.
If you're not free hitting, I don't think you sell him.
It's nice to see someone that's not sitting on the fence about it. So Benji's
Yeah.
more on the free hit side. So I'm sure when he's looking at the picks, he has a different lens. But from my perspective, I don't think I'm taking a hit for either one of KDB or Saka, just because I don't think they're nailed to for 2 starts. Like I feel more threat from like an Arsenal defender and Rogers going into the double game week than anything else. But I know if Saka starts the Ipswich game, I'm in big trouble because he could pick up like a 20, 25 pointer. Like I'm going to be massively behind the coach. And I think the upside with KDB is that they are the early team. Uh, they are in the
Yeah.
early kickoff, right? Payman or no?
Yeah,
KDB.
it's a 3 o'clock UK, but there's
Yeah,
no
they're the
early,
kickoff.
there's
Yeah.
no half 12. Yeah, There's no half
Yeah,
12.
it's what 1:30 is deadline, so it's early kickoff / yeah. So yeah, we can potentially get leaks. But again, I'm worried about the Villa game then.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Villa
what
the
either
Villa
if
game's the
he's
biggest worry. It's the biggest worry for me. I think he's getting
yeah.
Everton 100%.
What
Well, let me
game?
put it this way.
What do you
Let me
think's
put it this
bigger?
way. Like the Villa game is arguably more important. I mean, Villa are what, seventh or sixth? They're not that many points away from Man City in the table. Like,
But
surely Pep plays his best 11 in that
yeah, but
match.
Pep doesn't operate like that. Pep just he goes depending on his moods and his feelings. He doesn't go based on logic. That's the thing. I'm sorry to speak in such a such a tone, but that's how it is. We have to take every single pick from that team, other than Marmoush and Guardiola right now, as a rotation risk, whether it's KDB, Foden, Savio, anybody, basically. Ugh.
Even Marmoush could get his minutes managed, honestly.
Yeah, he could, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 70
Nobody
minutes
is
up.
safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's safe of Pep Roulette. You're right, definitely. I just look at it from like, if you're on a free hit 34, then I would definitely be considering ADB.
No, Free Hit
Definitely.
34 looks
Especially with
amazing. Like I mean, I recorded my video earlier. And I even said it. Like I think Free Hit 34, the biggest advantage that the likes of Benji has. By the way, spoiler alert, guys. Benji, aka Thinking Cap, is on Free Hit 33. I think one of the advantages they have is that they can load up the likes of KDB or Foden, whoever they prefer. Those players that are basically short-term picks, or Saka as well. Because obviously moving into game week 35, they're not the greatest fixtures. Plus double rotation, right? So what it does is that he can basically utilize them in game week 33 for their good fixtures for the double. Same with the Villa guys, right? And he can take advantage, and then he can just get rid of them because long term he doesn't want to deal with the rotation. He doesn't want to deal with minutes risk players, right? So that is the biggest advantage that they have. For example, Benji will have KDB Saka on his wildcard, and I might have on his free hit, and I might have Niva. So I'm at a huge disadvantage this week. So that's why I'm even considering whether if it's worth a hit for a player like a KDB or Saka in my team this week.
Well, if Jacob Murphy and, Harvey Barnes are going to go out there and pick up like 10 plus points in a double game week, why can't KDB do the same thing?
Minutes.
Oh.
Harvey Barnes got 180 from left wing. Murphy got 155, 160 minutes.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's just
Guys,
So
annoying.
without free
Pep
hit,
is an idiot, man. Like in terms of playing FPL, he's such a nightmare because Pep, KDB just makes Man City a much better team when he's playing well. So it's just so annoying, man. It's so annoying.
yeah. How could they
Guys,
beat
do
Everton
smash the like
without
button,
KDB
guys.
playing?
Do smash the like button if you're tuning in. We will look at the chat shortly. So Kanji, if you could obviously peep in the chat, or I could mention here and there while we're talking.
100%. If you see any names in the chat, just feel free to give them shout outs, bro. I can't see the chat.
Obviously, just to give a couple of shout outs, obviously we've got Manu, Cortex, obviously you've got Juan as well, and Ben. Shout out to you guys. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for joining the pod, by the way, guys. Appreciate you guys. So KDB versus Saka, I think I'm going to be avoiding both. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't have a free hit. I'm looking to navigate. I'm trying to bench boost 36. I have to let this double game week go. I know Benji, you're on free hit, so you're chilling, but Kayman Stark, you're sitting there with Palmer. Are you looking to hold? Do you think you're going to take them on -4 and bring in one of these guys?
Yeah, what are you thinking, Stark, bro?
Depends on the Tottenham game. If Tottenham win, then obviously I'll continue with the strategy we've got. But if Tottenham lose, then I'll just free hit in 33. So if I'm going with the idea that Tottenham win and there's a double game week in 36 and I free hit then, I think with regards to Saka and KDB, I think I'd give the edge to man, I don't know. I actually don't know. For our strategy, I think it's probably best to hold Palmer.
That's what that's the conclusion I've come to now. I'm sorry, Foden looks like he's happy in his training. Like I'm so I don't know, bro. Honestly, like,
I said this
man.
before. I think Palmer, this is going to be the first week where he will be a real differential.
I don't want to hear it
I know
anymore, Benji, bro. I'm sorry. This differential bullshit.
But
The guy's bum.
in terms
He's a bum.
in terms
He's
of
useless,
EO,
bro.
in terms of EO, he
Fair
will be
enough, yeah.
differential this week. But I don't think the fixture's good. I'm not looking to back him. But in your strategies for all three of you, I think it makes sense exactly what Kanji's saying. I mean, KDB's not nailed long term. Would you be surprised he gets 2 benchings in the next 6? No. Saka,
Really?
same. Right? So, does make sense.
Damn it, bro.
Yeah. I had my eyes more so on like Bruno Fernandes, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. We can talk
If
about
I
it when
was
we
to
get there.
if I was to bring in one of KDB or Saka, I would do it for a hit, and I'd reverse it for a hit in 34. So if he can put up Barnes numbers, then it's objectively worth it. If he
I agree.
doesn't, then it's
It's a
it's just
shocker.
whether you think it's going to be
Yeah.
worth it. Palmer got subbed in the 58th minute,
Oh,
That's
so
good.
him and Cucurella both been given their rest.
That's
nice.
good.
Nice, nice. I mean, the thing with KDB is in previous seasons, like I've fallen into this trap and he has not delivered for me. So I'm just it's just like PTSD. So I'm just avoiding KDB for sure.
He
It was
feels
just
really
Saka.
trappy, Kanji. Like as a guy on free hit, I'm debating whether I think KDB I will go for with the upside, but Saka, I mean, there's no guarantees.
Yeah,
at
on,
this
on
stage.
free
That's what I'm
hit, you have
saying.
both of them. I'm sorry, you have both of them on free hit. Like, there's no way you don't have both Saka and KDB on free hit. Then why are you even free hitting? Doesn't make sense. Like,
Well,
Well,
even
it
if,
depends how many minutes you're
but
giving
but
Saka, right?
we'll talk about it later. Yeah,
yeah. Anyways, we'll talk
get
about it.
into
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, if there's any, in terms of single game, because what do you guys like? Obviously, there's a shout out for Bimo in the chat. A shout out to Joe, and he says between KDB and Saka, I'd probably go
Luis
Bimo.
Diaz,
Yeah.
Luis Diaz and Bowen are the standout fixtures. I think Luis Diaz I'd give the edge to because he also plays Tottenham next game week.
Yeah.
And that like Leicester and Tottenham, man, two unbelievable fixtures.
So I think like this is gonna be like a common misconception. Like if you look at like the first 2 weeks, it's obviously Luis Diaz, but if you look over the rest of the season, it's Bowen. I mean, they have two newly promoted sides. Spurs and Man United could both be in Europa League. So it looks pretty good for Bowen. I think I go Bowen in this position. But it's like the upside of what Diaz can get you against, Leicester and Spurs. Like he could brace in one or both of those games. So yeah, that's the thing.
My thing is,
Bowen's like a
I think the Brentford attack is better quality. They create more chances than West Ham are at the moment. And yeah, I think West Ham will improve coming to the end of season run in. But for me, it's Bumo all day, every day. I mean, if you look at the Brentford fixture in 35, it's United at home. We have, if we get through today, we have Europa League semi-finals before and after. And that would be Thursday, Sunday
Really?
turnaround, I believe. So that game, he could absolutely smash us because we might rotate.
Yo, that's crazy. That 35 like week for captaincy is also very tricky. I might
Yeah.
actually captain.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna
bro.
play a team. I
I
might do
Is
mean,
you
it.
talking about Bowen, Benji?
Bumo. He has United at home in 35.
Bowen has United in 36.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking about
but
Bumo.
before and after,
No.
35, like Man U
yeah.
have their Europa League game.
Cortex, we'll cover your question on the free hit draft. We'll go there shortly. I think after this slide, we'll
Bro,
probably
the
go there.
way you're actually right about Bowen, by the way. His fixtures are unreal. Southampton, Brighton, Tottenham, and Ipswich and United. 5 of the 6 fixtures. The issue being,
You rather take out Palmer for
oh
Bowen
shit.
though. You
No,
could
I can take out Gordon.
take out Gordon for Bowen. Yeah, that could be it. Literally.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I think this kind of fits your strategy more than mine. Like, because I'm in transfer jail because I have my assistant manager. So every transfer I make has to be worth 4 points.
You
But if
know,
I had my
Kanji
money
told
in
me
the
to go for
bank
Bowen.
and
You
I,
know, Kanji told me to go for Bowen last week. I didn't because I was
yeah,
stuck up. I was stuck up on Sober. I was stuck up on Soberslide because he had freaking. That was such a bad move, man. Such a bad
I
move.
mean, it was Bumo or Bowen or Diaz. Those tough decisions, and like
So what do
Sabozlai
you-
was such a troll, by the way.
What do you think of and the Villa boys if you're not free hitting?
Oof. Well,
That's a
that's
really good
that's the
question.
interesting one because like they're potentially if Spurs advance in Europa League, then Aston Villa will have the double game week in 33 as well as the double game week in 36. And I hate to break it to you, but if Spurs advance, I think I'm gonna be putting Rodgers in my team this week,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna carry like 10 players going into next week.
On the Villa boys, I think, look, as much as Andy Martin wants to fearmonger about Rodgers' minutes, and we've had 32 weeks of sample size, and this guy has still not gotten benched. At some point we do need to say, okay, like he is just a different level of fit, close to what Bruno is. So Rodgers, absolutely, he's like miles ahead as the best Villa attacker to get, in my opinion. Then I think it's a toss-up. I would probably say Rashi just because midfielder, set piece share, all that, and then Watkins obviously is there as well in the third for
What are
me.
your guys' thoughts? Like Benji came out on Rashford. I mean, he's gone into Aston Villa and instantly taken over pretty much all the set pieces. Emery came out in a press conference saying he's the first choice penalty taker. He was taking some of the corners, some of the free kicks. I wanted to also ask, like, do you know if he's eligible to play game week 38 against Man United? I'm just not sure.
No, he's not. He's not eligible to
Mm.
play 38. Look, I don't know what Kayman thinks. I've never considered Rashford as a number 9. All this time I never thought he's a number 9, but that's why Emery's playing him, because he doesn't, well, apparently he can't do the workload on the left-hand side. And obviously Emery puts a McGinn there, a Ramsey who covers a lot of distance. But I still think he's done very, very well at the number 9. I'm surprised that, and he seems to not, he's not the same as Watkins. He drifts out onto the left-hand side, picks up the ball. It's not like they're shooting long balls up for 50-50s, right? Like, it's a different style that they play when Rashford's up there. So I think he's done quite well. I would consider him, but only on a free hit 33. I think if I wasn't on free hit, I would not be going there. Just because minutes at this point in the season, you do not want to move to an asset who you cannot rely on for starts.
Mhm. Do you
Mm.
guys agree with that? Start Cayman.
Yeah, I do want to mention though. I think for me to rank these Rogers, Rashford, and Watkins, I do think I'd have Rogers 1 and Rashford 2. If you were to be on free hit or if you were to buy one, I think it's probably Rogers number 1. I think the long term minutes that you can always rely on, and in a double game, especially when there's a short turnaround, you want a player that's nailed. And I don't know if there's anyone else more nailed than Rogers in that team. Maybe Tillemans outside shout, but that's about it. Yeah.
Nice. I did want to mention two more things. So there was news that my boy Trent Alexander-Arnold is back in training. So I know there are people that were considering Connor Bradley to put him to the squad. I know he got a 9-pointer because he got the early sub before we conceded, so he locked in the clean sheet plus bonus. But I'm not sure if you'll be able to play Bradley for many weeks. I think Trent might even start the Spurs game. I think Bradley will start Leicester, but maybe by the time the Spurs game rolls around, Trent will be starting, especially the last game of the season. I expect Trent to start as well. But just like a buyer beware, just to mention that. And
Before we
I
move
wanted to
on,
ask your guys' opinion. Okay,
go on.
go
Sorry,
ahead,
go on.
bro.
Sorry, go on, Kanji. Go on, Kanji.
Oh, okay. The last one, I guess, and we'll move on to Keeman after, is like, if you're considering going into free hit, or even if you're looking and you're thinking Arsenal are going to score 5 goals this game week and I want a piece of the attack, and you're not sure about Saka, and I think the two attackers I'd be considering would be Martin Odegaard and Marino, who is basically like the number 9 for Arsenal, but a midfielder in FPL. So Marino is like an OOP player. So I'm curious to hear, like, are you guys considering double Arsenal attack? Are these guys options, or are you just like more nailed and trust the defense more, so you wouldn't even consider these guys?
I think Marino's a very interesting pick. He even got 2 assists yesterday in the Champions League versus Madrid. And like, whenever I look at his data in terms of on foot mob, you can see where someone takes the shots. His shots are always in and around the 6-yard box. So like he must have high XG. He might not maybe have the most amount of shot volume, but I can imagine he probably has quite a lot of XG from his shots due to where they are. But my issue is I don't think he'll play number 9 in the Ipswich game. Trossard will, because he's been playing that in between the games, between the Champions League. But Marino could possibly play centre mid. But one thing that I paid attention to in the Madrid game was Partey received a yellow, which means he'll miss the first leg of the PSG game. So perhaps Partey plays more minutes in the Prem, because he's obviously rested in the Champions League. So I don't know how that might impact the likes of Rice and Marino.
Interesting thoughts. My point was about the Arsenal mids. I think it's Saka or probably no one else. Probably, I think. Because even if you know this, even if Saka gets rotated and he comes on in 30 minutes, you know that he can deliver something. Whereas other guys, if they get rotated in terms of attackers, you can't say the same, right? Because they're not the same quality. In regards to the last point I was gonna make, I think if KDB starts, I think I'm gonna take a risk. I think this is a week where a lot of people will have chips active, whether it's bench boost or free hit or whatever. And if I'm going in there with Palmer, with Fulham, I'm not very confident that he's returning. And then he's got Everton, and then followed up by I think he plays the Liverpool. So it's not really ideal fixtures for Palmer. As much as it may take a hit for me to reverse, or I might not be reverse. I might just keep KDB. I mean, 35 he's got Wolves, and he loves playing Wolves, right? Historically speaking, I don't know if you remember, like in past seasons where versus Wolves in a double game week. He's got like what 3 or 4 returns. So look, I think, and that's a home game as well. Wolves is a home game, Villa is a home game, and he won't have that many home games left. So
My problem came in is that Pep has shown in these middling fixtures. I mean, look, he started Grealish in the 10 at home to Leicester. De Bruyne was fit. De Bruyne's been pain-free for 6 weeks. So when you are looking at targeting those games, just be careful because he does like to rotate when it's an easy team coming. But I don't think Wolves are an easy team. They're hot right now. So I think he would
Are-
go a little stronger.
I have one question. You know, from 29th to 3rd of so 29th of April to 3rd of May, what's the gap? So that's like 5 days gap, isn't it, between Wolves and
So
the
are you the cup final?
cup final?
So
Is
this
in the,
cup semi?
so when is the cup
Cup
semi?
semi?
29th,
Cup
is it?
semi is in 34, but remember that Wolves game for City is on the Friday. It's
Okay.
not actually on the weekend, so it's a bit earlier.
Yeah, but
The turnaround I think is 4 days. The
it's
City
not
plays
bad.
Sunday.
It's not too bad.
Sunday,
I
Friday.
still fancy KDB, man. I think I'm gonna take a hit and I'm just gonna attack the double.
Mm.
I think I'm not gonna sit on the fence, guys. I think if I get a league that KDB starts, I'm picking KDB and I'm just living with the benching.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Homecoming
And
or
Hey man,
yeah, go on,
hey
bro.
man, it's you think City can really like smash like 3 or 4 past Everton?
No,
God.
I think that's a very close game. I'm seeing it maybe 1-0 or 1-1, something like that. However,
Right, so that's the leak. That's the leak you're gonna get, and then okay, cool. If he plays that, and you're in your head, you're thinking, all right, maybe 1-1, 2-1 max,
yeah,
and him to Hall, he's got to get 100% of the goal contribution in that game, and then you're going
yeah.
to be sweating for him to get the start in the Villa one.
So you raise a very good point. You're right, but I have I have this scenario in my head, right? The reason why I've come back around this idea of KDB is, you know, when he plays lower block, right? KDB tends to be the one that unlocks the lower block. I know what you're gonna say in terms of he's normally becomes the pre-assister rather than the assister, and unfortunately he doesn't get the FPO points. But if you notice, right, in the past, Stark, he is the one that breaks the low block, and we know what Everton are gonna do. They're gonna park the biggest bus. I'm just hoping if they do, if City does score 1 or 2 goals, I'm expecting KDB to be involved. Whether it's a set pieces, whether it's corners, whether it's him crossing into Marmoush. I'm just trying to imagine that scenario in my head, Stark, trying to convince myself, right? Because sometimes when you think positively, positive things come to your mind. If you think negatively, of course, it's only negative things will come. So initially, when the questions have been asked, I was thinking very negatively because Foden was training, right? So now that I'm trying to put some positive thoughts in my head, I do think there's not that many doubles left, right? I mean, we got this double and then perhaps potentially a double in 36. I do want to attack, and looking at my team, like I'm not free hitting and I don't have any chip active, whether it's bench boost or am chip, right? I'm going up against quite a bit this week. So
Yeah.
I just quickly looked before you come in. Sorry, I just quickly looked. So Bournemouth v Man City in the cup. That was obviously a very big game for them. De Bruyne played 90 minutes. And then he was obviously rested against Leicester because it's Leicester, right?
yeah,
He then played 90 minutes in the derby versus United, and he also played 87 minutes versus Palace in the previous game, and he was obviously subbed off because they were like 5-2 up. So
Yeah.
he clearly first choice in the difficult games based on
Yeah.
recent track record.
And also, Stark, with that, the cup game was on the Sunday or Saturday, and then they had midweek Leicester, so it was really tight. Whereas they actually have the most rest heading into the semi-final. They have 5 days break. No team has more heading into the semis. So they actually have a really nice gap, Tuesday, Sunday, to the semi-final.
Oh my god. Yo, oh my god. Man U Leon is tied 2-2. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Thank God I'm not
Oh my
watching that, bro. I
goodness.
would be pissed. But I wanted to add on the Arsenal guys. Marino, I do agree with Stark. I don't think he's getting 2 starts in the 9. I think it's unlikely, especially with Jorginho's injury. Let's see what Arteta says tomorrow, though. And Odegaard, there is a bit of interest for me. I know you owned him, Kanji, and he got you, he got you 20 points in the double last season. So there's a little interest, but my thing is he's only taking deep free kicks now. He's lost the free kicks close to goal. He's
Yo,
lost corners. He's lost everything. So he's not that strong of a
I don't
route to
know if
point
he's
asset right now.
Yeah, I don't even think he's gonna be an FPL pick going forwards anyway. He'll probably be overpriced. Like Rice is the value pick. Like, did you see those free kicks in the Champions League? Bro, when he
Crazy.
scored the first one, I was like, bro, that was class. And then he scored another one. I'm like, this guy's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next section, which is going to be the Gameweek 33 Free Hit team. Is this the one that you created, Benji? Why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah, so in goal, I've got the double Arsenal defense. Now, I'll tell you, I've got currently, I think, 4 or 5 locks in my team. So Mo Salah is absolutely locked. Marmoush is absolutely locked. Rogers absolutely locked. Gvardiol's absolutely locked. And Rashi as well. So 5 locks. The rest are open to interpretation. I'm quite keen on De Bruyne, but the thing is, I do want to switch up my Arsenal spots because I'm considering a triple Arsenal defense. I think I'm very, very hot on Kiwior. Kanji, I can't lie, I'm really hot on him. I think he will have more attacking threat than Saliba. In 11 starts last season, he delivered 1 goal, 3 assists, and 6 clean sheets. That's 10 returns in 11.
Damn, was he filling in at center back or was he filling
Yeah.
in at left back?
Left back / CB, yeah. And the season before, he had 5 starts, 1 goal, and 2 cleans. Yeah, 2 cleans. So I think he's a very look. We know Saliba. He doesn't offer much attacking wise. He scored with his butt. He got a tap in at Fulham. Apart from that, it's dry. It's dry city. So I am looking to try to find other places, but the minutes is really hard to interpret. What do you think of the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really strong. I guess Mateta versus Watkins. Are you just nailed on Watkins, or are you just avoiding Mateta? I mean, I looked at his minutes, like going into the first double game week. I was thinking he was the most essential player, like gonna get 90 minutes on pens. There had like a suspension to somebody. I think it was in Ketia. And I was thinking, Mateta's minutes would be unreal, but in the double game week, he only had 100 minutes.
Yeah,
I
he
couldn't believe
hasn't
that.
gotten more than 70 in any of the games after the international break. Coming back, so it's not. It's,
Do you
I
think there
think
was like
I think I'm
a
locked on Watkins, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think that makes sense. Do you think there was like a falling out with the coach or something? Because like before that, he was getting 90s every week. He was unreal.
I don't know, Kayman. What do you think? You've owned Mateta for a while.
There was no falling out. He was literally their best player. I don't understand why he switched around and started to take minutes off Mateta, and obviously since he's done that, that was obviously the performance has obviously dropped off. And obviously Mateta had an injury. I think that's what's obviously led to his minutes being managed. But since he's come back, he hasn't looked amazing. Obviously, he's got scored that one beautiful goal versus Brighton, but Mateta himself hasn't looked amazing either. So I do see why Glasner is also, trying to mix things up because Mateta hasn't also helped himself. Hopefully he turns it around. Like, listen, Mateta is one of those strikers. He has these purple patches. If you can catch them, then you're laughing. But then if he drops off that streak, then you can expect blanks. Would I say he's the most essential striker in a free hit draft? No, I wouldn't. I think Watkins is a no-brainer if you think he's gonna start. But then on the other hand, Watkins is a bigger doubt to start than Mateta because of recent minutes. I mean, Watkins' minutes have been worse than Mateta. All right.
Not a little.
Uh,
I think they're around the same. But if you look last 6, Watkins started 4 games in the last 6.
Fair
So
enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
I do anticipate 1 start minimum in the double, and I am playing into this record narrative. I mean, he's just 1 goal away, and then he's the Premier League all-time top scorer for Villa. And he's already said he wanted the pen from Asensio. He came out and said after the game, "I wanted the pen because I wanted to reach those heights." So I think he's going to be absolutely very hungry to deliver, and I'm expecting at least 1 goal from him in the double.
Fair enough. I just also think that having triple Villa attack is really good on paper. But I just think at the same time, maybe the fixtures are not the best for attacking. I guess City is a good fixture, right? Because they consider a lot of chances. But Newcastle have defended quite well. But again, you could argue they're at home. So I do see your vision of having triple Villa attack. I don't hate it. At the same time, I would be a bit wary because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. For example, I would have probably maybe preferred maybe a Palace attacker, at least one of Sar or Mateta, whichever you prefer, or Eze, whichever you like, or
I think
maybe
Sar
even
is the one closest.
or maybe
Yeah.
you even consider maybe double Arsenal attack. I don't know. I mean, if you fancy it.
I am considering that. I
Yeah.
am.
So
Because
those are two
Rye is
options.
so boring. He's just
Yeah.
what am I
I
expecting
wouldn't have
him to do,
Raya as a
really?
goalkeeper, man. I would not have him on my free hit. I don't know who I would have,
So
but
okay, Kayman, tell me what you would change here.
see, the
What
thing is,
options would you go for?
you said okay. The thing is, would you not go for a single game week for as a keeper? Like, I would
No,
rather have a single game
absolutely
week.
not. No. This is a position where I've got 4 teams doubling.
To be honest, leave the defense, right? Leave
I
the
do not want
defense.
singles.
Yeah, leave the defense as simple as it is because you don't want to complicate the defense. Let's just simplify the decision. The third Villa spots is an essential. It's not essential, right? The rest of the team is fine. It's just that third Villa spots. Who are you happy to take out?
None of them.
Okay, it's interesting.
But tell me, who are you gonna take? You're gonna go for Eze, whose minutes aren't nailed. You're gonna go for Sar, whose minutes are much better. But ultimately,
I
Mateta
think Sar will do
and
really
Eze
well.
are everything.
I think
They
Sar
get
will
subbed
do really
off.
well, bro. I genuinely think Sar will do really well. I think
Look,
you're
I'm considering
underestimating him.
Sar. Like the one change that's closest for me is Saka out, Munoz out,
Oh, hell
and then
no.
Sar plus Kirill.
Saka out,
That's
hell
what
no,
I'm
bro.
considering.
Even if Saka gets one game, I think he gets something, bro.
But yeah, I think. Look, I think after today, I had to sleep on it. I think Saka will be in my draft. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have him, bro. I think even if he
But
gets one game, yeah.
what do you think, Kanj?
Yeah, I think the draft pretty much picks itself. Like, I don't think I would change anything. The walk-in spot is the one that's the most up for grabs because of the no, like Saka's X minutes down is fine because it's Saka, so you take the risk and you just let it go. It's fine. But walk-ins is the one where like something could just be off with him, similar to like people that went Gordon, people that went Foden. Like you could get screwed in that spot. But like the upside of the other attackers isn't that strong. Like Mateta hasn't been doing the business, so it's basically just Mateta versus Watkins. The rest of it, I think, is excellent. Did you consider like a second Liverpool player, like in terms of like maybe Bradley or
Yeah,
Diaz, Gakpo?
I have considered that. I considered an Allison, but ultimately, at this part of the season, I'm looking to put myself in the best position to gain, and doing so on a singler when I think at least 25, I think it'll be around 20, 25, maybe even 30% of the engaged field on bench boost. Fixture count's going to be huge. I want to pack my team with as many doublers as possible, and I think backing against Liverpool defense makes sense in my strategy.
What do you think,
And then
Stark?
the last
Ultimately,
question is like if you're
I think Stark would
like
disagree.
if
Stark would disagree with that statement, Benji. Sorry to Kanji. Stark, what's your thoughts on that? What Benji just said?
If Tottenham lose and I free hit, I'd have triple Liverpool in my starting 11
damn.
interesting.
easily. Wouldn't even be a debate. I don't see the point of Munoz.
Well, I think Munoz, I think I probably will have him out of my team. But I mean, that's why I really am considering the triple defense because I do see one clean for Arsenal. If it's two, I'm walking away with 12, 24, 36 points. So, and they've done that before in doubles too. And we know what this defense can do.
How do you know
So,
Okay.
what Arsenal defense? Who's gonna start in that game? They could really very well play their B team, bro.
well, I think Raya, Saliba, Kirill, I think that's pretty nailed, to be honest. At least for my personal minutes. That's what I'm looking at. I
Yeah.
think the
So if
rest,
you
the
did that,
fullbacks
then
is a war zone. It's a war zone, Kayman, the fullbacks.
Yeah.
if you went there, then I'm assuming you would go Eze in the soccer spot.
Sorry, just for minutes.
Okay. Either way, yeah.
I think why
All
don't we
right.
go? Why don't you go Allison in goal and then put in like a second Arsenal mid?
But who's the mid, bro? Nobody can
Yeah.
guarantee me Marino or Odegaard minutes. Ultimately,
I could see Marino probably starting both, but just one is the 9, one is like a second man midfielder. I don't honestly. It's difficult, man. Even
he's tempting
like
stuff. Yeah,
You know what? Let's call a spade a spade. You can't touch these midfielders. The player you can touch is actually like Watkins. So like, would you consider like a Gakpo in that spot?
no,
I genuinely think Watkins is the weakest asset here.
yeah, but Conj, the striker mark. I've said this. It's dead. It's off. It's awful, bro. It's awful. I've got Mateta, who's not guaranteed 2 starts. I've got Isak away to Villa, who's my current favorite singler. Then I have Wood away to Tottenham. Cunha not guaranteed to start against Man United. And what I have Fulkrug. I'm not. I promise you, I will not be owning Fulkrug. Like, yeah, I think Watkins for me, he likes tough fixtures, bro. Villa, and the thing is, people talk about fixtures. Emery is on a 4-game win streak in the league. They're hot. I've just seen City concede 2, almost 3 to Crystal Palace at home, 2 to Brighton at home. So, am I really that confident of their defense? And they do,
Not really.
and Villa will have a extra day of rest over Newcastle heading into the weekend as well.
Okay.
So,
And then the last question to just break down the draft. Let's say I want to build a free team and I think your squad value must be like 105, maybe 106. Like, let's say I only had 103 in team
Mm.
value. Like, which premium player would you be willing to cut?
Saka, or De Bruyne. Saka or De Bruyne. I think actually I would probably say De Bruyne. I'm a bit harder on Saka today, to be honest. So I'd say De Bruyne because I
Bruyne,
think
man.
you
Keep
can
De
go,
Bruyne.
yeah, you can
Keep
go
De
against
Bruyne,
him.
please, man. De Bruyne's gonna smash it.
I have a feeling De Bruyne's gonna smash it as well, bro. I feel like that Everton
I don't
fixture.
know,
I genuinely think that Everton fixture, if anybody's gonna unlock that defense, is De Bruyne, bro.
it
I
smells
have a
of a
feeling, bro.
Doku hole.
Bro,
It
for
smells
me, it
Doku.
smells like a KDB masterclass, bro. Genuinely, it does.
Mm.
Because if he gets anything
The,
in that game, he's getting full bonus.
he feels a bit trappy to me, Kayman.
But if you're getting a league that he's getting starting one of the games, how can that be trappy? I mean, I picked
But is
freaking
one
Soboslai for
enough?
-4. Listen, I've made worse decision, bro. I can't believe I picked Soboslai for -4, bro. I'm genuinely thinking, should I take out Soboslai to get freaking Bowen or someone? Because I don't know, bro. I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared. I should have gone Lewis Diaz or someone. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's a risk-free pick, Benji. Like you're on free hit. He's not
Mm.
staying in your. It's a 1 week thing.
Yeah.
So De Bruyne makes sense. Rashford, like, can you guarantee Rashford's gonna start both games?
No, I don't think he starts Newcastle, to be honest.
Right. So why would you move KDB over Rashford? Why would you prioritize Rashford ahead of KDB? Money's not an
Because
issue.
there's other City assets that I think have a small consideration for Ruben Diaz or Ortega, who I think is interesting if I wanted to move the Raya slot. But ultimately, I don't see any other Aston Villa assets that I want. There's none. I don't want a piece of the defense. Tielemans no, McGinn no, Ramsey. There's just not enough there. Asensio, he's just missed 2 pens. I highly doubt he's taking another. And he's kind of lost a bit of form recently as well. He missed a big chance in the Champions League on the week, so yeah.
So you're quite hot on Watkins.
Yeah, I'm hot on Watkins.
Think he's gonna play both?
He could. I think he could get both. I mean, if I asked you, Starking and Kayman, which profile of a 9 fits both games more, Watkins or Rashford?
Rashford versus City,
I
he does well always. Rashford versus City, he
yeah.
does well.
I'm playing into that narrative too as well. I think in doubles you always got to play with the narratives you have, and with Watkins, I think he gets one start absolutely. I think one start's nailed, and his historical records are great in both fixtures.
Watkins is a
And
lock on free hit if he was nailed. He's absolute lock. Just lock.
but Stark, I'm comparing him to Mateta, right? And if I'm looking at Mateta, whose minutes are absolutely horrid, and it's a one start plus minutes versus one start plus minutes, I'm taking Watkins all day long. Villa are a better attack. He's got tiny pen share, and he's talismanic. I'm taking him.
Feel like we might get. I feel like journalists do sometimes do a good job of asking questions. Obviously, that's their job. So hopefully, one of them has the initiative to ask him, "What's the situation with Watkins? Why has he not been playing in two of the biggest games of your season?
Mm.
And he's not playing Southampton. I don't get it. Like something's not right. I'll be honest. Something is not right with that player.
Cortex
The
said he
fact
has
he
the
didn't
same
get
free
the
hit as me.
Southampton game, it's like, oh, he's not getting Southampton. He must be resting for PSG. They need one goal. Comes on with 13 minutes left. Don't get it. I don't get it.
It's a scary pick, bro. I'll be real with you. It's a scary pick, Benji, bro. Very scary pick. I'll rather have
ultimately,
Mateta, bro, on that.
I'm looking at it as if I have 180 minutes of the Aston Villa striker. And yeah, maybe you say you don't like the fixtures, but go and look at Rob T's graphic, which I personally look at for my decisions. They're third for projected goals this week. So, and I think there's better places to use the City picks. I've got double City attack, one defense. I've got double Arsenal defense. So, yeah.
Anyways, the only
Makes
question
sense. I mean,
I'd
if you
have
want
there
to,
is Watkins and Mateta, and you guys can pick your who you prefer.
See, just quickly, with regards to Mateta, you obviously know he's wearing that mad thing around his head and like his ear and stuff. You know how he got subbed off because he wasn't winning duels? Do you feel like this injuries impacted his confidence to take these duels, and that's why he even got taken off in the first place?
You probably, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, but I actually, yeah, that's probably a good point. But I still think, I mean, I saw that finish against Brighton. I saw a stat. It's him and 4 other players, since I think in the last year have scored 8 goals with left and right foot. So he's lethal, man, on both feet. Yeah, I rate him as a 9, but yeah, it could be impacting him.
100%. Yeah, I think if you're looking to cut some money, like sleep at a QER, there's not much difference. But regardless, let's move on to the next slide, which is going to be Gameweek 33 Captaincy. And of course, we've got Benji Thinking Cap. This is your specialty. You've prepared an excellent graphic, by the way, so it looks really clean.
Yes, my 4-man shortlist. I'll have my video out tomorrow. I want to try to see if I can get any quotes, press conference stuff, info over the next sort of 24 hours before I post it. But this is my 4-man shortlist at the moment. We got the 2 City boys, Marmoush, De Bruyne, Saka, and obviously Salah in a single. I mean, can Salah win again, Kanji? Is he gonna win again?
I mean, you can always trust Salah for something against newly promoted opposition.
Yeah, he's done 14 points and 13 points away to Southampton and Ipswich this season. I think he's yet to blank against Morona team. So he's a flat track bully this year, that's for sure.
Can we just address
sense. I mean, if-
Cortex's points, by the way? He did ask a question on the chat earlier on the free hit. His question was, would you take punt on Bowen if one of you guys were on free hit basically this week? So Benji, would you
No,
take
not
a
for
punt
me.
on free hit? Okay, that's
Not
your
for me.
answer. That's your answer, Cortex. But hypothetically speaking,
So-
if you were to sacrifice anyone, I'll probably sacrifice I wouldn't mind sacrificing one of Rashford or Rodgers. Pick
I
which
would
way you
look to
prefer.
sacrifice one of the premiums there, Cortex, use the 3rd spot somewhere else. Maybe.
You see, with regards to the Arsenal talk against Palace and Ipswich, Meerkat just did a great graphic of like shots and goals conceded. You know his graphic. Just
Yeah.
take a look at it. It's amazing. He's
I'll
like, I
look
might
at
buy Marino and Saka, and I can see why.
I might just put
I-
it
I-
on the pod for us. Give me 2 seconds.
I think the Palace game
stress.
is big. I think it's gonna be big.
How are we feeling about captaincy this week, though? In terms of Saka versus Marmoush versus Salah, like in KDB as well, probably the wild card. So, like I'm leaning Marmoush just specifically because of X minutes. Like you're getting, I'm assuming 80 plus minutes in the double game week times 2,
Mm.
and then it's like he's on pens as well. We're assuming, so
Yeah.
that's kind of why I'm there. And he also has, I think, since his debut in the Prem, he has the most goals in the league apart from Mo Salah. So.
Yeah. I think he'll be I think the majority EO captain. I'm predicting him to be around 170, 165s
Um,
maybe. So he's
I mean,
gonna be huge this week. He will be huge.
and people that still have the triple captain, they might even play it as well this week.
Yeah, for me, I don't know if I'd be comfortable playing it away to Everton with this Moyes. I mean, honestly, I'm not that hot on Marmoush. You can see there the XGC. Everton are by far the toughest fixture on the shortlist this week. Toughest fixture. And I don't like it at all. He's playing 9 against Branthwaite Tarkowski. Now, obviously, yes, he'll be in between the lines. I'm sure he'll shift out to the left-hand side, right-hand side. He'll change with De Bruyne. But I see that as a very tough matchup centrally. And I prefer, honestly, the winger matchups for City more so. In that
That makes
case.
sense. Makes a lot
I
of
think
sense. Man.
Tottenham have qualified into the
Oh my
semi-finals.
God.
You know what's happening with Man United though. Man United, they're playing against Leon. It's 2-2. Leon picked up a red card. They're going to extra time.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, I know we're on captaincy, but for our strategy, Kayman, and you Kanji,
Yeah.
what do you think Cunha's gonna start this weekend against Man United?
Oh my god, that's a good question. I
Because 120 minutes, if this goes to extra time, 120 minutes, Wolves who are firing, Cunha, you get United game, then you also get Leicester next week in 34.
It's not a bad show. I don't think Cunha starts though. But we'll
but
see.
they're playing
You gotta
really
wait
well
for the press
without him,
conference.
innit? They're playing really well without him, and they don't want to give him any shine, basically.
I think he starts, to be honest. Bellegarde's injured, but let's see what the quotes are tomorrow about it.
Yeah, let's see what the quotes are actually. You're right. Yeah. If he starts, he's a good transfer though. I'll start. What are you thinking to take out?
Shapeshifter R9. He's done me
Oh.
a great service.
Fair enough.
Wow,
Have
he's
to go.
pumping, dumping. Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
So,
man.
yeah, I have a question, right, on the captaincy. Sorry
Yeah.
to ruin the banter because I'm trying to be really. I have quite a few of my friends that are on my strategy, right? They have the triple captaincy chip left. They have to use it this week because they're trying to free hit in 36 because there's a double in 36 and a blank in 37. If you had to use a triple captaincy chip this week because your chip strategy forces you to, who would you go for, Benji, if you were you? I know you're not a fan, but who do you think has the highest ceiling out of these four options?
I wouldn't use it this week.
God, you can't
I
sit on
don't
the
think
fence.
there's
You can't sit on the fence, Benji. You have to pick
no.
one.
I wouldn't. I genuinely I wouldn't use it this week. I don't think they're. I don't think I'm not confident in any of the double options. Yeah, you can maybe obviously solid consider, but just for regular captaincy. I mean, look, Marmouche. You can look at Marmouche, say his minutes are nailed, but is he nailed on pens? You don't know. He's not nailed on all of the set pieces either. And what happens? He gets 65-65, which is definitely a possibility. Nothing is guaranteed with Marmouche. I do think 2 starts is guaranteed, but I don't think 90-90 is guaranteed. Same thing with De Bruyne and the same thing with Saka. So ultimately, if you're looking at playing your triple captain, I don't really see a standout guy here. I think all of them are risky. So yeah, I'm sorry to sit on the fence, but that's just what I have to say. I would not feel comfortable playing my TC in this week.
All right, I
And
won't sit on the fence. I think Marmoush is the number one captaincy this week. I think he gets 2 starts and he doubles, right? And I think second would be Salah for me if you want to use a triple captaincy this week. Sorry that I would have loved to sit KDB, but since Foden is back, I would definitely worry about his minutes. So yeah, for my boys who are on the TC, consider Marmoush and Salah. But yeah,
Yeah, man. I'm personally going to captain Salah this week. But I
my
think if there's a double
yeah.
game week in 36,
Mm.
then, 'cause these people, if you're free hitting in 33, why not triple captain in 36 or vice versa?
Then
So
then
if I was nailed on free
yeah
hit on
yeah
your strategy, Kayman, which you said but your boys are,
yeah.
I think I'd just be tempted to triple captain Mo Salah.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I think Salah has a high ceiling, and I'm stuck. I said it from the very beginning. I'm honestly trying to be different this week, and I might be on Salah ahead of Marmoush because I don't see Marmoush being that effective in that Everton game. I don't think that's his game. I think Villa is his game. Like he's gonna have a lot of space to run in behind and whatnot, but that Everton game, I'm not a fan.
If you guarantee me 2 returns from Salah, I'll captain him.
I can't
If you
guarantee
guarantee
that,
me
but I
2
think
returns,
I
but
think
that's what I'm saying.
but
Like
I won't guarantee what, but what I would say is I think I would say I'm extremely confident that he'll get 2 returns. I'm highly confident that he'll get 2 returns.
Marmouche,
No, Salah.
damn.
Yeah.
I think Salah
The
I think Liverpool in general are going to absolutely obliterate Leicester. I think this is going to be one of them statement games, 5 goals minimum. I think they're shit. Liverpool, I was actually impressed with Liverpool versus West Ham in the first half, especially Salah. Like he cut in, nested it far post, almost bagged. He looked. I thought he played well. The assist was amazing. And West
yeah.
Ham, like they can be difficult to break down under this Potter fireball system. So I'd be very confident Salah's gonna destroy this Leicester team. Like team that are gonna win the league versus fucking shocking team. But at
Yeah.
the same time, City, I think Arsenal have the best double. It's just such a shame they've got Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
Yeah.
boys. I'm not gonna lie. The Spurs fixture they've gone through in Europa League, so it looks like Spurs are going to be doubling at 33. Sorry, Spurs and Aston Villa are going to be doubling at 36. That means Aston will also be doubling at 33. So I think I'm doing Rodgers in this week for Cliver. It's going to
Nice.
be -4. Oh God, let's see what
Raj could be the
happens.
cap.
Yeah,
Raj
bro.
could be the cap, huh?
Yeah.
Not
By the
even,
way,
no way.
just to touch on earlier what Stark said, right? I've quickly put the graphics on for Mirka. Shout out to him. Stark, here we go, guys. Just quickly just put the graphics in. Stark, I'm gonna let you run through it. Go on, man.
So if you look at the first graphic on the left, that is like I believe that's a combination of shots. Or is
Goals.
that goals conceded? What is that? Is it just shots?
Goals considered from the different areas for Ipswich, I think, from game 1 to 32.
A lot
They've
from the right
conceded
wing on the
100.
right hand side.
They've conceded 112 goals. That can't be right.
No, I think it's shots. It's shots. They haven't conceded. They've
It says
conceded
it says total goals
60
is
something.
112.
No, they haven't conceded 112 goals. It's
That's for
I think
both
it's shocking.
Palace and Ipswich. They've considered a total of
Oh,
112
okay, it's a
goals.
mix. It's a mix.
So, yeah,
Okay, got it.
own goals
Right,
4,
okay.
penalties 6, and free kicks 1. So they've both considered over 122 to 112 goals. And
Okay,
you can
so
see,
if you look on the left, yeah,
Mhm.
it highlights it. So that where the striker scores and the right wing, and
Yeah.
obviously that's Saka and Marino.
Yeah.
Look at the positions they're scoring in.
Wow.
Is that
Yeah, there's a
temperature,
lot of
eh?
shots where Saka likes to operate really, like in that pocket of the 18-yard box, central, a little
Saka
bit
could be
centrally
such a
as
big
well.
TC, man. If he was gonna start Ipswich, he's such a good TC. If he starts Ipswich, like, it's crazy.
Do
Oh,
you think?
Yeah,
Do you think this
it's
is like
easy.
a look at what's happened? Liverpool, right? Slot. He had PSG. They had Southampton. Didn't rotate. And then the same thing with Villa. Rodgers. No one expected Rodgers to play.
Hmm.
What happens? They play. Does Saka
Yeah.
just play both? He could.
he could.
Could be, could be.
He just could. He could.
No, and then the thing is, the one thing that a few days ago, I was less certain on Saka getting 2 starts, but he did come into that Madrid game with more than a week's rest. He played only 70 minutes, looked absolutely fine, came off. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities he gets 2 starts. It's not. We've seen Arteta do crazy stuff before.
Just the fact that Nwaneri is just also a very special player. So
I might get
that's
Saka,
the
man.
issue.
I might get Saka.
We're
I'm
convincing
tempted,
him.
bro.
We're working our magic, eh?
I think I'm tempted, bro. Oh my god, bro.
The thing is, though, if you look at Marino, right, this is a key thing to highlight. So if you look at the orange dots for centre mids, they do concede a fair amount as well. And Marino, it's like similar to Havertz, right? He kind of deploys it because it's going to be Ipswich. So if Marino does start at centre mid, it's going to be like a 4-4-2 with Marino and Trossard as the strikers. So Marino will still get dangerous shots, and then I believe he'll get the Palace game as a striker. So I honestly think Marino is
Interesting.
he's definitely. I would own him on free hit. There wouldn't be even a doubt in my mind. I'd have him on free hit, 100%.
But I
just
feel
worried
like
about the
if you
2
buy
starts,
you buy Saka though because of the high ceiling, isn't it?
No, I think
On free
Marino's
hit,
got plenty of a ceiling, bro. I think he's got plenty of ceiling, to be honest.
Bro, he doesn't have pens, he doesn't have corners, bro. What ceiling are you talking about? Just tap ins, bro. That's the ceiling he's got, bro.
Yeah, but the fixtures are so good that if you were gonna double up on any attack, you would double up on Arsenal.
They have
just
nothing to play
conceded
for, man.
9 goals, or was it 10 goals in 2 games?
Palace, yeah, 10 goals in 2. Ipswich are shocking. And
Bro,
Palace, I mean, yeah.
But Saka has to be a lock, I think, bro. Saka, I think, is a buy over KDB, bro.
Oh my god, Kayman.
Look at this, bro. Are you seeing this, bro? Bro, Palace just
Yeah, I
considered
know,
10
it's
goals in a
nuts.
double, bro. Like, what do you think Saka's gonna do to them, bro?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see when we come to PFC, right?
yeah,
Nah,
Saka.
bro.
Even if Saka just gets the Palace game, even if he just gets the Palace game and they concede 5 goals, you have to have Saka.
Bro, I think I'm gonna have Saka, bro. Look at this. They're predicted to score the most goals in a double.
Look at it, but look at the clean sheet odds.
Oh
Look
my
at them.
god, bro.
That's crazy. The odds of 1 clean sheet are almost at 70%. This is why I'm
This is
considering the triple
crazy,
defense.
bro. This is actually
And you
crazy.
see Villa there, 2.98, 3 goals basically projected. So
Saka has to come in, man. Saka has to come in. Saka has to come in,
My,
boys.
man.
Saka has to
might
come
have to
in.
Alright,
get
so
Saka.
Saka is
Might have
coming
to
in,
shall
get
we
boys.
move?
KDB, man.
Yeah, KDB, we're gonna have to see
Alright,
later, bro. Go on, clean sheet odds. I think we already looked at it, to be fair. You
yeah,
touch
we
on it?
looked at this. Why don't we move to why don't we just move straight to PFC?
Go on then. Here we go. We're on the PFC section now. Do you want to touch on the projected doubles right here, please? Quickly on this one.
Yeah, I can't see the screen. If you could walk through it, yeah.
So basically, this is the projected, like, obviously doubles on percentage on what teams could double. Obviously, you got the Aston Villa Tottenham. They had 44% chance to double for Gameweek 36. This was back in Gameweek 30 where the graph was obviously put out. But obviously, that chance will probably even increase much higher now,
Bro,
probably 90%.
this is a yeah, it's like almost 100% now.
It's almost 100% now that we're going to get Villa and Tottenham doubling, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, then moving on. This is another interesting thing, right? From West Ham, there was a note that their game, if Forest were to go through to the finals of the FA Cup, that they could also double. So both West Ham and Forest could double. So yeah, there's definitely signs of double 36 and blank 37. So me and Stock were very, very excited. If you followed our strat, you will thank us later, hopefully. There you go. PFC game
Wait,
30.
sorry. Before we go PFC, can we go back to the assistant manager
Yeah.
slide?
Yeah.
So I
Sorry.
think
Go on.
this can be relevant to like 10% of the community that have the assistant manager left.
Yeah.
I think this is the spot where like if you're on Glasner and you don't have the money to get up, I think you just hold it on Glasner. Like I think Glasner like AM is like really the decision because if you have Howe, it's an easy move to Arteta. That's a no-brainer. You spend the
Yeah.
transfer. If you're on Glasner, are you just gonna hold it, or what would you guys do?
I'd sell him. I'd sell him
Yeah, man.
100%. I think the win against Bournemouth not guaranteed, and I think they've got 3 days. They have the worst turnaround coming into cup semis. Wednesday, Saturday, just 3 days. Every single team has more days rest than them in the semis. So I think he's 100%. He has to rotate. We've already seen what the minutes are looking like, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but once Mateta and Eze are off the pitch, that team's dead.
Yeah, they're toothless.
They're dead.
Toothless.
So
I'd
yeah,
go
I'd
Arteta,
make the
man.
move. Arteta. Even if you had Glass, I'd still make that move.
Yeah,
Moving on.
I've talked to you guys about the AM path so much. It's been unreal. So like I think we've had these doubles planned. We knew. But let me tell you, Eddie Howe this week, just at home, the double game week, crazy variance, 23 points. I think there was what 10 goals, one clean sheet, unreal. And then
Wait.
now it's
Hold
like
up.
going
Hold
into
up. Kanji, I didn't even see him on the touchline. I didn't even. How is he getting points, bro? How's he getting points? But this is what I'm saying. By the way, Jason Tyndall's gonna get a wake up call on the weekend because Unai Emery's got something special for him, bro. I promise you that. Let's see if he's averaging 4 goals a game. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking
Yeah, but you know
Tyndall.
what? That's a really fair point. It feels a little bit weird to get points from Eddie Howe with him not being there.
Yeah.
Like they definitely missed a trick. Also, like when managers get yellow cards, they should get minus points on AM, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like
But
slot.
anyway,
Just a quick
yeah,
review on our
exactly.
game week 32 of the graphics of game 30, but it should be 32. I went 2 for 3 game week 32, and obviously Mente was a terrible punt, and Pedro Porro was a lock flop, and then you had Isak captain, which obviously returned. I'm disappointed I lost to Kanji. He's taking the lead again. So, yeah.
Yeah. Finally, Stark has fumbled a week. I mean, he's still got 2 for 3. He's doing well, but finally I was able to take advantage of him. I
Yeah.
kind of feel like some redemption, a little bit of redemption arc. So Vardiol was the obvious flop. I knew he was going to concede the Palace. Isak Cap was never in doubt, and Livermental, the punt came off. I was debating between Livermental and Trips, and both returned anyway. So, yeah, feels really good.
Mm.
Also, right now I'm 2
Wow.
behind
Overall,
Kanji. Kanji's on 39. I'm 37, and Stark on 43. He's still leading comfortably. But my goal is to get Kanji. So let's see. Going into next
Oh
week.
wow.
well, yeah, it's interesting because my goal is to get Stark. So there's like what, like 6 weeks left, maybe in
Yeah.
the season, maybe 7.
Yeah.
So I think there's still enough time for Stark to bottle it. So let's see if he pulls an Arsenal or maybe even a Chelsea in the top 4 race and bottles it.
Yeah. I've got Trossard as a punt, and I've got never forget the bomb shapeshifter R9 João Pedro as a flop. I think he's just lucky to get penalties, and I think Brentford would not give him any. And I've got Marmush as captain currently. Go on, Kanji.
How are we feeling, Benji? Like I know that PFC is your first time. Just a reminder to people in the chat, like if you're interested, I'd love to hear your PFC. So our punt has to be less than 10% owned, and then our flop has to be more than 15% owned, and then the cap. So what are you thinking, Benji?
Yeah. So last week my flop was Jacob Murphy, and yeah, I'm backing him again. I'm backing against him again because I'm telling you, his returns they have to be over now. It's got to be. He's got
Wait,
to
so,
be.
wait, you put Murphy on flop, the guy that got the most points?
Yeah, I was hating on him, bro. I was hating on him.
Oh, yo, I've just realized. Kanji needs to change his flop
Why?
Why?
because you can't. The rule is you can't flop 2 defenders in a row. And you last week you went Guardiola, and now you've picked Pedro Porro.
Oh shit! Oh
You're
yeah. Okay,
breaking the
hold on, hold on,
rules
hold
like a slime of
Oi.
a trucker.
on, hold on,
Get
hold on.
that
I got you.
Pedro
Hold on.
Porro out of there, mate.
Yo guys,
Hold
drop
on. I
your
got. Alright.
PFCs in the live chat, by the way. It'll be very interesting. So Kayman's
Yeah,
gone
I'll say mine in the
Trossard.
meantime. Marino punt. I think he's going to get something. 2 good fixtures. Ateta flop. 2 very difficult fixtures. He just flopped in that double. Can he do it again? I'm taking the risk because I don't own him. So I'm picking someone I don't own. It aligns with my actual team. And
Makes
captaincy
sense.
Salah, I'm captaining him in my FPL team. So
Interesting. A lot of I come and watch the pod every week, and this is one of the weeks where Starkey on Salah. Of course, Kayman's currently on Marmouche, but I think Kayman's open the change.
I'm gonna change, bro. I'm probably go back to Salah, bro. I think Salah's talking to me, bro.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Salah's talking to me, bro. He's telling me, Cayman, I miss you. Come back to me, bro. That's what I'm saying. I might go back to him, bro. The king, the real king of Egypt is it might be his time, bro.
Anji,
Leicester, bro.
are you locked on Marmouche?
Marmouche for punt and captaincy. Or for captaincy, yeah, definitely. Definitely Marmouche, yeah. No doubt.
We got Ollie's got Rashford, a punt, and flop De Bruyne and captaincy Saka. And Emil's got
De Bruyne
Endo
flop.
punt, Vardy flop, and Salah. Vardy can't be flop. I don't think he's 15% on, bro. Salah cap, fair enough.
with regards to obviously for them, they can just pick whatever they want, right?
Actually, you guys
But
can pick
for
whatever you
us,
want, yeah.
you
Pick
can
whatever.
you can choose to follow our rules if you want, but how we do it is the punt has to be under 10% owned, and the flop has to be over 15% owned.
Nice.
And
You
Cortex
can put my
got KDB flop, and then Watkins captaincy, and he's got captaincy Saka, and he's got Watkins is flop and punt is KDB. Sorry, gone. Kanji.
Oh fuck.
yeah, you can put my flop as Bruno
Turkey
Fernandes.
scored. Turkey.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh
Benji.
god, bro.
Benji, I want the pink and black one. Yeah, I
God,
want the pink.
bro.
And black one.
God, bro.
Yo,
That's
Stark, I'm gonna get your least favorite player's name on the back, bro.
No, you can't do that, bro. That's not the rules.
What do you mean? If I'm getting the shirt, I make my own rules, mate.
No, that's not
Oh
the case,
my
bro.
god.
If United go to the final, I will buy you whoever you want on the back. Whoever you want,
Yeah, you
even
know what?
a legend, even an
know
old
what, even-
kit, Benji.
I can't believe it, man. We're going out to these guys.
Bro, this is just embarrassing. Just listen, can we just head the post? I can't be asked, but let's just go in the post, bro. It's for fuck's sake,
Whatever.
bro.
You know what's funny? The funniest thing about Leon is that they were actually a man down, and now they were.
Kanji, enough,
Man, you were
enough,
2-0.
bro, enough, bro, enough. I don't want
Wait,
to hear it anymore.
Kayman, have faith, bro. We have time.
Wow, how much
We'll
time left?
come
How
out.
much time
man.
left?
I think we got
Wait, did you
15 minutes
guys-
or something.
Come on, bro.
Did you
15 minutes
guys,
left, bro. Come on, United, bro. Stand up. Come on. Go on.
Yeah, we got 15 left.
100%.
We-
And
10
you know
man,
what,
Leon.
just,
Yeah,
you
10
know,
man. We're losing to them. I swear to God, I'm done, bro. I'm done, bro. I'm about to go on loan, bro. I might go to loan to
man.
Liverpool, bro. I might have to submit my papers to Liverpool, bro. I've got triple Liverpool on my
you know
team.
what,
I'm captaining Salah. It might be Liverpool, bro. I might have to go on loan, bro. Whoa, my.
Yo, so Kayman, what's the thoughts behind in stock? What's the thoughts behind Salah, bro? Is it just it's Mo Salah?
It's Mo Salah, bro. It's Leicester, bro. That's simply it. It's Leicester and it's Mo Salah, bro. That's it. Honestly.
Have you guys seen?
So-
One came in, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, that's it, bro. You can't ask me why Salah. Like, I'm sorry, you cannot ask anyone why Salah captain, because yeah, Salah, Salah.
Yo, did you guys watch Hannah Montana back in the day?
No.
No one watched Hannah Montana back in
Oh
the
my
day.
god,
yeah, of course,
4-2.
of course.
4-2,
No, it's not. They're trolling,
bro.
bro.
Joan, bro. I swear, I'm about to block your ass, bro. Don't be playing with me like that, bro. Don't play with me like that, bro. Don't play me like that, bro. I swear to God, bro.
What are we saying, Stark? What are we saying about Hannah Montana, though?
Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course, bro.
You know that song where he's like, "I'm the man who had the cheese. I'm the man who had the jerky." You know that song,
I know, but keep going.
bro. You kill me, man. You don't know. How does no one know that you man are not men of culture, man?
Brother,
gotta
I
watch
know
that
the
shit,
theme
bro.
song. That's pretty much it, though.
Benji, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Murphy's gonna might dunk on you again, bro. Dead ass, bro.
Listen. I'm telling you, I've seen when it's basically, when your bin's over full, right? It's time to take out the trash.
What do you call him? What do you call him, Benji? I like the way you call him.
His juice all out, bro. He's expended all of his returns now. He's done. It's got to be over now.
You call him Velociraptor, isn't it?
Velociraptor, bro.
Velociraptor.
It's got to be done, bro.
Yeah, and you know what? Like with that being said, you know what, man, you have been so focused on Europa League, and they're gonna be so tired and so leggy come Wolves. My flop is gonna be Bruno Fernandes. He'll be the flop this week.
What a rat, bro. What a rat, bro.
One
What a
pen
rat.
and you've lost there, Khan.
This might be the week where I'm praying for Bruno to
Don't
score,
worry,
you
it's
know.
all good.
Inshallah, Bruno returns. Inshallah. This is the 1 week I'm praying for Bruno to return. Well, I'm against him. I'm
bro.
always against him, right? This is the 1 week I'm actually going to be a Bruno fan. Inshallah, bro. Inshallah, Bruno returns, bro. We will be there, bro. I swear, I'm going to be rooting for him, bro. Deadass, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, Bruno.
Oh,
Yes,
I
lock
love
it in.
PFC.
All right.
Alright.
Just remember the way Kanji kept bringing up Gvardiol flopping.
I
in the
know,
previous game
bro.
week.
I can't believe this.
100%.
Oh, my God, bro.
If you notice, Kanji always picks Kayman's assets to flop.
I know it does. Such a rat, such a rat.
Then he
Nah.
celebrates like he
Such
just
a
won
rat,
the
bro.
Champions League.
You know what? The only people I'm celebrating against are people that had bench boost 32. But speaking of someone that had bench boost 32, shout out
Oh
to
my
boy
God, bro! I
Benji, bro.
swear to God, bro.
Bro's cheering against everyone here.
He's the op, guys. Kanji's the op, guys. Yeah, he's the op, man. I'm telling you.
He's up. He's up. Yeah,
Kanji
so I
outscored my
didn't
bench boost.
I didn't quite outscore Kanji's bench boost, but I think it's okay. I mean, I took the hit this week. It was minus points. I didn't gain points on that, but I look at that hit as a transfer down the line. I brought in Gvardiol and Gibbs White for Elanga, and I think the minutes are stronger with Gibbs. I think Gvardiol also to have a piece of City. I don't have any City in my regular team. I think is a smart decision. And getting a small green this week, I had 24, 25 points on my bench boost. So I'm content with how things went this week. Yeah.
Wait, so let's just review this. Hold on a second. So you had a master stroke. You switched Alanga's 1-pointer for White's 2-pointer. And
Yes, sir.
you took a -4 to put Vardiol's 1-pointer against Palace in your team, eh?
For Van Heck,
Wow.
0 points, by the way. So
Bro,
Now,
Yeah,
can I
look,
just say, by the way,
Gvardiol-
8 Nori and Cunha pick is elite. And by the way, Bruno G is huge differential. Just shout out for those 3 picks because those are very brave picks. Unlike picking Soboslai, who's a bum. Yeah, go on.
yeah. No, look, I'm happy with those, and I do think they demonstrate my management skills. But I think Bruno G, I can say now, I think he was a mistake. I've lost like 20 points to Murphy. So yeah, sometimes you do get burnt, but that's the risk you take. And I was hoping Bruno G could be some sort of a Bonds this week, but I think maybe it's a lesson to take in the 33 double. Make sure to go for those attackers, less of the 8s, less of the 6s. Yeah.
Facts. Moving on to your team.
Like, by the way, Loki, I was violating you there with Vardiol, but that's a good transfer.
No. I agree with you. I think he was always conceding that game, but it's a transfer for the future. Like,
Yeah, look,
Wolves
he's doubling
Southampton
this
in just
week.
2
He's gonna
games.
hold this week, so Kanji will be. We'll see who's laughing then, right? When he bangs a goal versus Everton or Villa.
Facts, bro, facts.
KDB crosses to Guardiola and Guardiola bangs it in. There we go, bro. That's my assistant goal. GG's. All right, so this is your free hit team, obviously.
Yeah,
Bro, I
that
was
we've discussed.
spectating Kanji's face whilst Benji was talking, and Kanji had the dirtiest smile on his face. I don't know why. It's like the most evil eye smile I've ever seen.
Bro, I was waiting to roast him about the Vardiol pick, man. I was talking shit
I
the
know.
whole week.
But Kanj, I can't. I didn't want to make a move just for 1 week. And you know, I mean, if you watch my my free hit video, my other defensive option, my top 2 was Van Dijk. He scored 9 points. So I was very close to the points that week, but ultimately I chose the longer.
I remember putting you on Van Dijk as well, so I'm lucky, bro. Should have been
No,
there.
it's
So
okay. No,
we
no,
discussed the
it's
free hit.
fine.
Obviously, my advice would be Watkins. Just be cautious and don't put all your eggs in one basket. Consider maybe taking one of the Villa guys out for a Liverpool mid or a Palace mid or a forward, if that case, Mateta maybe. But that's my advice. But otherwise, the free hit does look really strong. I would have the same team, except for the third Villa, basically. Moving on.
Cool.
Kanji had an absolute amazing game week. Did he not,
Wow.
or did he not? I don't know. Why did he not have an
It
amazing game
was
week?
listen.
Look
It
at his
was a
bench.
very
He has 28
eh,
points on his bench, bro.
yeah. It was a weird week. Let me tell you that.
Yes.
Jake-
Hold that. I didn't even clock that you actually had that much points on the bench. You bench Semenyo. Yes!
Bro,
Oh my
you
God.
guys
Yes!
hate on Semenyo
Yes!
all the time.
Yes!
What do you mean?
That's what I mean. He only scores when you put him on the bench. Do you get it? Like he doesn't score when you expect
That's
him, bro.
unreal.
He scores when you least expect him, bro. That's what I always said, bro. Like when I owned him for 12 weeks straight, he was only scoring when I didn't expect him to, bro. Oh, penalty to Lewin, bro.
Yeah.
Penalty to
Yeah.
Lewin apparently.
Man United are cooked,
Oh
bro.
my
They're
god, bro.
cooked,
GG's, bro. GG's. But anyways, Kanji, with all jokes
Anyways,
aside, by the way, I do understand
yeah.
why you benched them.
And
I don't know who you benched
yeah,
them for
it
though.
was a decision of like Milankovic versus Semenyo for the week. I was always starting Penate, so punished by 8 points. That 8 points would have been really nice. I think this was the first week where I realized like the top 100K is just not happening. Like as many points as I've gotten from AM, it was just canceled off by Jacob Murphy. Like that, I can't believe the swing. It's crazy. Like 23
Crazy.
points, and I'm still not on a green. Really, I'm on a gray. So unlucky
Here's my
season,
question,
bro.
right? Here's
Just
my question. Didn't you think those double were a better for an attacker rather than a defender? Obviously, that might be hindsight, but didn't you think that,
I
for
mean,
example, Murphy or a Gordon or like say Barnes had a higher ceiling than a Livramento? Don't you think?
Lorenzo returned like 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm not even complaining. Just it's unlucky. Like I just didn't expect Murphy to pick up all the points. Like, I'll be honest. I was
Fair
happy to
enough.
bet against him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would have bet against one
Anyway,
of the
so it's one
defenders,
of
to be
those.
fair. But yeah.
Yeah,
Kanji,
I just didn't
it was
rate Murphy
Milankovic
anymore.
versus Semenyo. That was the decision.
I don't hate
Yeah,
that decision,
exactly.
to be honest.
4-2. 4-2.
It's over,
Hold
man.
that.
It's over, man. It's
Hold
over.
Ammer him out.
that.
Ammer him out, bro. Get him out of
It's
my club,
over,
bro.
bro. It's over,
Benji,
bro. It's
Benji,
over,
can
bro.
you get me the pink and black one, please, bro? That's
It's
my
over,
favorite
bro.
kit.
It's over, bro.
All right, I'll get it. I'll get it for you, bro.
GG's, bro. It's over, bro. It's over, bro. It's over, boys.
So
I can't believe it,
yeah.
bro.
So it was a very mediocre week. Let's move on to Gameweek 33. So for this week, is Kayman still here?
Yeah, he's here.
My friends are just roasting the
He's
fuck
here.
out of me in the chat probably right now. Just fucking.
Yeah, you gotta move to the next slide, bro. You gotta move to the next slide.
Yeah, sorry, bro. It's
So
Double
just
heritage.
the next
United.
one,
Yeah.
United.
we got the Gameweek 33 team selection. So the transfer is Eddie Howe to Arteta, and then maybe going to be doing Clivert to Rogers. That'll be the decision to think about. Maybe I could bring a plan of like maybe Mateta to Evan Nielsen and Clivert to Bruno. That could be the alternative. Obviously not this week, but I'll look at the path. But I'm pretty sure Rogers is probably going to be the play, given that he just has a double and then also doubles 36. It just makes sense. Clivert to Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Makes
a great.
sense.
I think
I'll
that's a
probably
good
bench
transfer.
Semenyo, or actually, the way Palace is playing, Semenyo will
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
score. I don't want to say bench him because Palace
Yeah,
is horrible, bro, right now.
He'll be on my bench. Many will be on my bench.
Yeah.
But tell me something, Kanji. Do you need I mean, well, we need an update on Clive, but I was saying you could sell Semenyo, right? Instead.
Yeah,
I would sell
exactly.
Clive
But-
ahead of Semenyo. Hell no. I'll sell Clive. The guy says fatigue and freaking muscle fatigue, whatever.
No,
It's not
me
happening,
too, me
bro.
too. But if it is like, let's say Areola says he's ready to start tomorrow, then I would consider selling Semenyo instead. You'd have a better asset. But
Emil,
yeah,
very funny,
that's
mate.
all.
Very, very funny, mate. Very funny 4-2. Very, very funny, mate.
But do you know what made me laugh in the chat? It's the way that Cortex said Vardio to flop ? And he's always telling me to buy him. How dare you, Kanji? Kanji's telling his
Bro.
mini league rivals
Bro,
to buy Vardio, but keeping him to flop in PFC.
It's criminal, man. It's criminal.
Kanji's crazy.
No.
Yo.
Realistically, like the Vardio hate watch
No.
was just specifically for Palace. Like I expect points. In the
No way, Kanji. Kanji's moving next level, bro. What is this setup, bro? Setup chick. Kanji's the new setup chick,
Wait,
bro.
hang on. It says pending VAR penalty for United, I think.
Oh,
Damn, bro.
shit.
Another one.
Inshallah, bro. The team looks,
Holy.
to be honest,
Let's leave that game.
if I'm being honest, the team looks alright, yeah. But obviously, I would want you to get a doubler in, like maybe Rogers, right? And I'll probably want you to get a. Bro, don't you want to get KDB? Oh, he blanks. It's a problem.
No, he can't.
No.
It's too much.
Yeah, okay.
It's not worth it.
The big thing, he needs a hero, and it needs to be one of his. He needs, like, remember what Wood did for you guys, the hat trick. That's exactly what he needs this week. On top of what
Emil being
Arteta
such
gets
a
and
rat.
stuff.
Emil has been such a rat. He says Ken Kayman scored the penalty. This guy, bro. All right, so moving on to my team. I think this is Stark's team. Sorry, Gameweek 32. Stark had 83 points. His shining light was João Pedro. But go on, Stark. I'm gonna let you cook, bro.
Bro, I'm not cooking at all, bro. This is Jesse Pinkman.
Oh,
Jesse
shit, bro.
Pinkman, man. Yo, you know I was 40k when João Pedro scored 2 penalties, and then Jacob Murphy off the top ropes, just Rey Mysterio, fucking
Yeah, it's
That was the
just
same with
619.
me, Stark.
Unreal.
After Sunday, I was like 60k, 70k, and then Jacob Murphy he pulled me down. I was climbing and he pulled me off the cliff,
Like
threw me to the bottom.
so close. Like Nico Williams, 94th minute clean sheet wipeout.
Konate deflected goal
Cucurella,
in.
Cucurella like almost bagging. Or like Cucurella had so many chances to fucking get an assist. Like he even set up Madueke and Madueke didn't shoot. He tried to cut in and got. Anyways, man, Eze missing a penalty. Jacob Murphy slamming Gordon to the next like. Jacob Murphy's Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones and Gordon's fucking Peter Parker's aunt.
I think the move that for you was Gordon out. If you went to literally any Newcastle mid, they all did points, all of them. So
I don't want to be the guy that said I told you so, but I did tell you to take a -4 for Gordon to Murphy. Anyway,
You know, I'm
let's move on.
30. I think like 33 points down to the field, keeping Gordon for the last. Picking Gordon on
Crazy.
wild card, it's conceded 35 points to the field.
Crazy, bro. That's an
Crazy.
insane swing, bro. Insane. That's why I want to get Saka in
Bruno
this week, Stark. Yeah, Bruno scored
Bruno
penalty.
scored his penalty, eh?
Yeah, penalty. Yeah.
You know what's interesting about the Bruno pen is like he went bottom right. The goalie also went bottom right, but he just had enough power, so went past him easily.
Moving on to your team for
Yeah.
Stark for Gameweek 33.
Yeah, Salah captain. Happy with Raya and goal. Really happy with Konate. I've got a doubler. I think Boris can keep Tottenham out, to be fair. I might play Cucurella because his positioning is just elite. And Fulham aren't the kind of team to score many goals. So it could be a tight game as shit as we are defensively.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've got double Palace mid. I don't like double Palace mid. If I was on free hit, I don't think I'd have any of them.
Wait a second. You've got Chelsea's top scorer on the bench since 2025.
Or I might start him, you know. I'm gonna keep Isak. I think he can cook this Villa team.
Facts.
The move,
Same.
obviously. JP, listen, I've got two. I'm gonna take a -4 100% if I'm not free hitting. So I'm potentially gonna go JP to Watkins. But if Watkins is not looking likely, then I'll just whatever. I could just do Palmer to KDB and then Gordon to Saka.
Yeah, that's probably the moves, man. That's probably the moves.
So what's your move, Stark? Say it again for me. Gordon to, and you're not free. You're ruled off free hitting this week, right?
Yeah, because
it's out of the
Tottenham won.
question. Okay.
Tottenham won. Come on, Tottenham. Vamos, Tottenham.
Vamos,
Come
baby,
on.
Vamos.
So no chip active this week, right?
Nope.
Nope. I'm gonna get my cheeks clapped.
Now you need a hero, but you can get. I think Isak's the hero for you guys this week. I got
Bro,
Villa.
Liverpool are not conceding. How anyone will not have Bradley in their free hit team starting is beyond me, bro.
That's good, bro. That's good for us. Stop. Keep it quiet, bro. Keep it quiet. Just let them leave him.
Stop
Bro, he's
beaming,
got
bro.
clean sheets locked, and he's probably gonna score.
Yeah.
I need a Konate bullet header. I need a super slide banger. That's what I need, bro. Come on, baby.
No consideration for Raj stock or no?
Nah, man.
Okay.
I don't fear Rodgers, bro.
My team. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I'm done, bro. Go.
Yeah, my team. I've got 88 points, -4 I talk for super slide, which I regret now. I feel like I'm trapped with him. I should have probably gone Diaz, but he's 3.3% on though. If he gets anything, oh man, I'm flying. So let's hope that works out. And then obviously bench boost was a total disaster, but to get a green even after a -4 and having a disaster on the bench boost, I'm still grateful, to be honest. So yeah, back on a green after a wild card. Yeah, Murphy saved my life.
Have you considered?
Yeah.
I know, Kayman. I know you're not on free hit 34, but like if you were on free hit 34,
Yeah.
You could do Murphy and Starr, so Rogers and Rashford, and you get a double game week this week and a double game week in 36.
No, I'm free hitting in 36. It doesn't matter what happens in 36.
Yeah, I know, just showing you another side of it.
Yeah. Obviously I just about hit my safety 84, luckily, right? So really, really lucky, to be honest. Now let's move on to my game week 33 team. I haven't made any moves yet. This is my boss team. I'm looking at KDB and Saka. It could very well be Saka, considering the fact that he's got probably the two best fixtures on paper. And even if he comes off the bench, I think he can score a goal versus either of these teams. Like Palace have considered 10 goals in the last 2 games. Arsenal, I mean, if they try at all, like they could destroy them as well. Yeah, Palmer to KDB or Saka is the move. Let me know what you guys prefer in the chat now, to be honest, or what you guys think.
But how are you getting there? Who are you selling?
Palmer.
But are you not navigating 34 naturally?
Yeah, I'm navigating 34. If you count the players that I have in 34,
why are you selling him?
because he's a bomb.
Okay, but look, Kayman, you can see he's a bum, but there's 2 other guys you're looking at. I don't think their minutes are nailed at all. 30, 34, 35, 36.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I don't like the fixtures that Palmer has in 34 or 35. So I don't really care what Palmer does. To be fair, I don't fear Palmer in 34, 35. So Palmer is a sell regardless for me. I am definitely selling Palmer this week. I think I think I cannot miss this opportunity to not
But
get
I don't
a doubler.
understand it though. I don't understand. On your strat, you're picking up the doublers in 36 on your free hit. So
Yeah.
why?
But think of it like this. What happened?
Yo, Man United scored. I'm not even kidding.
Come on!
It's 4-4.
Come on, baby.
It's
Come on.
4-4.
Come on, baby.
Hold that,
Vamos.
Starkey. Hold that,
Vamos.
Starkey boy. You're not getting that shirt
Vamos.
too early, yeah? Hold that, Starkey boy,
That's
bro.
crazy, bro.
Come on.
Who scored?
Bro, we're about to find out right now, fam. That's
Man,
crazy.
My new, huh?
Let's go.
Damn.
Let's go.
Oh my
Damn,
god.
it was cold too. Oh my god, what a cold finish.
I
Bro,
don't have the
that
game
goal
on,
he
so
scored. Bro, that goal he scored against Liverpool, I've always rated him since that day. Like, wow.
So
yeah.
why don't we wrap it up? Or
Let's wrap it up. Let's watch this match, bro. Let's wrap it up. Sorry. Oh shit, I just
yeah,
almost fucked it. Sorry. Oh my days. Fuck did I just do? Alright, boys. I think the fuck did I just do, bro? Oh shit. How the fuck do I go back with this? Oh, there we go. Alright, boys. Let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna go watch the United game. Let's go, boys. Let's go, United. Come on, haters.
Come
hold
on,
back.
United. Let's
Let's
go.
go, baby. Let's
Thank
go.
you guys.
Yep, yo,
Thanks for
Benji,
coming on,
Thank you,
bro.
Cap. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. It was really fun.
No problem.
Obviously, Stark, Kanji. Anything else to say?
I
Yeah,
think
can
we're
one of
great.
you-
Thank you so much. Love the pod this week.
All right, boys. Tune into the deadline stream on Saturday. So I'm see you guys next. Peace out.